But that's where we are right now, isn't it? You start to become suspicious when somebody's dominating like this.
I want to take a second look at the catcher. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man. But apparently the Oklahoma softball team loves the Lord.
Yeah, so there was
nice.
a press conference, and they were answering questions there at the tournament.
Okay.
And as the person who posted this said, I don't think ESPN was prepared for these answers.
I bet not.
Oh, well,
It went on and on, and
it's the only place. It's the only place really where we hear it, right? I mean, all the athletes and sports teams and coaches and stuff all thank God, and and ESPN has to take it.
Yeah, and they don't want to.
It's live.
Believe me.
It's live, and here we go.
They don't want to, but here's what happened.
Alex Scarborough with ESPN. For the players, I know you talked about keeping the joy of the game, but I'm curious, it's a long season, right? And you guys have had the target on your back the entire time.
We sure have.
The win streak being number one. How do you handle the unique pressure that comes with that? How do you keep the joy for so long when anxiety seems like a thing that could very easily set in?
Well, the only way that you can have a joy that doesn't fade away is from the Lord. And any other type of joy is actually happiness that comes from circumstances and outcomes. I think Coach has said this before, but joy from the Lord is really the only thing that can keep you motivated, just in a good mindset, no matter the outcomes. Thankfully, we've had a lot of success this year, but if it was the other way around, joy from the Lord is the only thing that can keep you embracing those memories, moments, friendships, and all of that. So that's really the only answer to that, because there's no other way that softball can bring you that, because of how much failure comes in it and just how much of a roller coaster the game can be.
1,000% agree with Grace Lyons. I went through that my freshman year. I was so happy to win the college. I've talked about this before, but I was just so happy that we won the College World Series, but I didn't feel joy. I didn't know what to do the next day. I didn't know what to do for that following week. I didn't feel filled. And I had to find Christ in that. And I think that is what makes our team so strong, is that we're not afraid to lose, because if it's not the end of the world if we do lose. Yes, obviously we've worked our butts off to be here and we want to win, but it's not the end of the world because our life is in Christ, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I think a huge thing that we've really just latched onto is eyes up. And you guys see us doing this and pointing up, but we're really fixing our eyes on Christ. And that's something where, like they were saying, you can't find a fulfillment in an outcome, whether it's good or bad. And I think that's why we're so steady in what we do, and our love for each other and our love for the game, because we know this game is giving us the opportunity to glorify God. And I just think once we figured that out and that was our purpose and everyone was all in with that, it's really changed so much for us. And I mean, I know myself, I've seen so much of a growth in myself with once I turned to Jesus and I realized how he had changed my outlook on life, Jesus. Not just softball, but understanding how much I have to live for, and that's living to exemplify the kingdom. And I think that brings so much freedom. And I'm sure everyone's story is similar, but we all...
Can you imagine I wish a camera would have swung around to the ESPN reporter who asked the question, like, okay, I got it.
Did you get all that? My tape recorder broke. I don't have any. I didn't get the audio.
What I want a camera is in the truck. Like, are we allowed to say Jesus on ESPN? And go to break.
Wow. Yeah. And his full name there, or title, Jesus Christ, and they're saying that multiple times. This has to be a nightmare scenario for ESPN.
There's probably, you know what?
So great.
You know what? Bristol, Connecticut, they're on the phone. They're like, yeah, well, okay. Yeah, we'll go to break as soon as we can. I promise.
We're trying to find it out here somewhere.
We don't know what's going on.
All right, let's see the rest of this. This is great.
So much freedom. And I'm sure everyone's story is similar, but we all have those great testimonies that have really shown how awesome it is to play for something bigger. And I think that's just what brings me so much joy. And no matter the outcome, whether we get a trophy in the end or not, this isn't our home. And I think that's what's amazing about it is we have so much more. We have an eternity of joy with our Father, and I'm so excited about that. And yes, I live in the moment, but I know this isn't my home. And
now you've got too far
no matter what,
not
my
just
sisters in Christ will be there with me in the
ask
end.
Another question.
When we're with our King. So,
Patty, you've got to keep your eye on the prize.
There we go.
I love it.
That's so great.
I mean, have you ever
Refreshing.
seen even a religious institution, a university, the Baylor,
Do that?
BYU, Oral Roberts? Have you seen anybody do this? This is the University of Oklahoma.
Right.
That's a culture on that team.
That sure is.
There's a reason they were 61-1. They got some blessings of playing well, and
I mean, you could say that, I guess.
I could say that, and I just did. So,
So hang on.
because softball is a game like baseball where you can't win.
You just don't. You just don't.
99% of your games, you just don't during the year. Something goes wrong. You don't play well. Somebody pitches poorly. Something happens.
Right.
Once during the course of a 62-game series or season, it's incredible.
What
and
happened
they
that
lost.
game? They didn't pray hard enough?
Yeah, they played a Southern Baptist university. Baylor.
Yeah, they didn't pray hard enough.
God chose sides. He went with the Baptist. So are you saying
once. They played him once early on in a tournament, then they played him 3 times during the conference season to beat him every time.
Yeah, God said, I'll let the Baptists have one.
So hang on a second. So if the conclusion is that God participates in sports outcomes, should we surmise that he is a Miami Dolphins fan? What was it? The 72 Dolphins went undefeated? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
No.
That was a long time ago. No.
Yeah, no.
No.
I don't know. I just know. It's
Pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible.
And
that is a culture. There's
he's
no doubt
not
about that.
on our side. We're on his. They're clearly on his side, right? The Oklahoma Sooners
clearly.
softball team is clearly
Clearly, they
on
won't
his
shut up
side.
about
so
it.
if they
Right.
start losing next year, then we'll know, oh boy,
Okay.
they turned their back on God.
All of the Jesus girls graduated. So
Right.
there you go.
Right. So the coach has got to be. I mean, the coach has got to be big time behind this too,
You would
right?
think
I mean,
so,
he
yeah.
has to be.
You'd think so. There was obviously a culture on the
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
I mean, so maybe even when the Jesus girls goes, you bring in some new Jesus girls, you're good to
Maybe.
go.
They're going to start recruiting not girls who are hitting 450, but girls who are committed to the gospel.
Yeah,
And that
because this
was
isn't it. This
and
isn't
that
it,
was her
Dad.
there.
She told you that
at the table,
Right.
Patty Gasso.
Yeah.
And when I Googled her, she is the highest paid softball coach in the United States.
Well, she deserves it, I'd
yeah,
say.
no doubt.
I'm just trying to find out
What is she making?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
I bet it's,
$10,800.
yeah, it's probably not that much.
I bet you she's probably pulling in 500
you got it?
grand.
You want to take guesses?
Yes,
500 grand.
500 grand. Half a million.
125,000.
1.625 million.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. They're paying Power 5 money. All right.
Yeah.
Okay then.
I gotcha.
Yes.
Wow, really? For women's softball? That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
I mean,
Well, it's working out well for them.
yes, it is.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Hold on a second. She's tied for softball. Oh, okay. So if you take all of the softball coaches and all of the baseball coaches in the United States, she's actually second highest. So the Vanderbilt coach, which is their perennial powerhouses, $2 million.
Oh, when you think women's
Is that
softball.
baseball?
Yeah,
or is
baseball,
that softball? Yeah,
baseball,
baseball.
baseball.
So the men's team
Right.
coaches
So if you
making
take
$2 million.
all the softball teams and all the baseball teams, she's number 2 on the list, but number 1
Wow.
among softball.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is.
That's really something. Huh. All right. Interesting.